Uh, So, Frankie, tell me a little bit about what you're doing. It sounds like you have quite a few things in progress.
Yeah, I have an Amazon movie that came out this past October called Blackest, a part of the Welcome to the Blumhouse series. And I have a series on BET Plus called Sacrifice that I am a recurring guest star on.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the movie first, because I loved it. You did so well in it.
Oh, thank you. The movie Blackest, it follows Asia Cooper's character, Shauna, and she finds out that some people are being kidnapped and turned into vampires. Unfortunately, our mother becomes a victim to that. And so she starts to investigate and tries to get revenge for our mother becoming a vampire and also her unfortunate death. And I worked with an amazing cast and crew on that project. That had to be one of the best times I've ever had making a film. Asia Cooper, Fabrizio Guido, Abigail, Mason Beauchamp were like my castmates who became real close. Marite Go was our director. Everything about that project was too much fun. I really had too much fun on that project.
Nice. And what was your character? Remind us what your character was.
I was Jamal. I played Asia Cooper's older brother, he was a little bit of a douchebag. He showed his love by teasing his younger sister. But eventually he kind of helps the main gang, pursue their vengeance of vampires.
And what was your favorite part about filming that other than having a wonderful cast?
Uh, uh, what was another favorite part? I liked there's a scene where we all get attacked by vampires, and that had to be like the most fun because I want to say that was like a week worth of filming, and it was all of us together, and it was all of us getting attacked individually and collectively. And just in between takes, we kept each other entertained. Like we really became very close, like a family. So in front of the camera and off the camera, we were just a goofy little bunch, especially me, because I love to laugh.
And tell me about the show of yours, because you're really good at that too. I want to hear all about it.
Oh, thank you. That show, I started filming that earlier this year, and it Paula Patton is the lead in it, and it follows her character, who is this this very successful entertainment lawyer, and it follows her protecting her corrupt clients, but also dealing with a family that her side of the family that shuns her, and I'm a part of that family that kind of shuns her. And we are the offspring of Richard Roundtree's character, Ellis Shaw, who is the label head of a very successful label called Blackgammon. And my character comes into the story causing a little bit of tension within the family because he tries to get his hands on the label for himself, but he bites off a little bit more than he could chew because Paula's character is way smarter than he is.
And what's the biggest challenge about playing that role?
He's so very different from me because I want to say I'm typically a nice guy. I'm not a vengeful person, but Chauncey, who's my character, he is very smart and conniving, and he puts on a good face, but knowing that he's doing things behind the scenes. So, just turning on that charm, but also that devilish debonair, I guess, at the same time. I wouldn't say it was much of a challenge. He was very different from any other role that I've played, but it was a lot of fun to play someone that was so completely different from me.
Very good. I like that. And what's your favorite part about being this character?
I love the clothes that I get to wear because being a part of the Blackgammon label, we're a very rich family, so we can afford nice clothes. And Dolores, who was our head of wardrobe, she had me styled in like the nicest of clothes. I loved the fashion. And I also love being someone like in a position of power. I liked being able to fire people or just talk to anyone any way I wanted to because I felt like I could.
You're such a nice guy, so it's just like
yeah, and that's what made it fun because he's so completely opposite of me, so I could just turn him on, just like that, and it really made for a great experience for me to know what it's like to be a little bit of a villain.
And like I said, you're so nice. Like it's hard picturing you as a villain, but that's not how you know you're doing your job perfectly.
Exactly.
And what else are you working on these days, or is this show pretty much your baby now?
Yeah, that shows the baby. We're hoping for a second season. The fans have I've been reading the comments. Yes, fingers crossed. I've been reading the comments, like the fans were all in love with the show and they're asking BET like, when is there going to be a second season? So we hope to get that. But there's some projects that I've auditioned for. One I was at a table read for, so we're gonna see what happens with that. But everything I've auditioned for doesn't start filming until next year. So just gonna keep our fingers crossed that from the projects that I've auditioned for before, that we get one of those in once the new year starts.
And one thing I like asking people I interview is tell me a fun fact about yourself.
A fun fact: I can move my ears.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard that fun fact before.
Yeah, I realized that when I was like really little, and my sister Erin was like, I don't know, I think we were talking about Alfalfa from the Little Rascals. You know, he could just like move his ears. And I was like, I think I could do it. And all of a sudden I started, and she was like, Frankie, you're moving your ears. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, look at Frankie, he's moving his ears. And I was like, oh wow, that's a nice little talent I have. And my ears were very big when I was little. Thankfully, I've grown into them. But my cousin used to call me like satellite ears when I was little.
Oh, that's not nice.
And that's how we show love as
Fair
kids.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And since we're also a TV site, what are you watching these days?
Oh, I'm watching Ted Lasso. I just finished the second season and I love it. I would love to like be on that show because it's so happy and positive. It's such a nice break from everyday life to just watch something that's just like for the entire 30 minutes of it. You just laugh and smile. Also watch another Apple TV show called Acapulco. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And it's about like this hotel in Mexico. I think it's so colorful and it's hilarious. And I've been binge watching SpongeBob and Misadventures of Flapjack that I used to watch when I was a kid. And Charmed. I love Charmed. I always go back and rewatch Charmed, the original Charmed, not the new one.
I was making sure, just making sure.
Yeah, I love Prue, Piper, Phoebe, and Paige. Those are my Charmed girls.
Yes, but the new one is really good too. So
I've
nothing
just
beats
I've
the original.
Yeah, really like the chemistry that the four of them had in the midst of whatever was going on behind the scenes. Like they had great chemistry. I've seen clips of the new one. I think they do cool with the magic, but I haven't like really watched a full episode.
Oh, I'm speaking of your wish to be on Ted Lasso. I'm throwing it in the universe behind me. That's why I always use this background.
That is really nice. Yes, let's put in the universe. I don't know what part I would play because I'm horrible at sports. I don't play soccer, but I can act like I know what I'm doing.
You could be a school newspaper reporter interviewing them.
Let's Yes, that'll be the role. For the third season, they will write that role specifically for me.
Yep, you heard it here first.
Exactly.
And what would you say was your guilty pleasure TV show or movie?
Guilty pleasure. Oh, this is so nasty, but not necessarily like a TV show, but I used to like go on YouTube and watch, well, two things. And not necessarily, I don't feel guilty watching them, but like pimple popping videos, like people like removing cysts. It's so weird and gross, but it doesn't, I don't know, you get some weird satisfaction out of watching a huge pimple pop. And also, I hate rats, I hate rodents. And so I would like YouTube videos of like snakes eating rats and guinea pigs and hamsters. And I don't know why it was just cool to me. Like watch a rattlesnake bite a mouse and watch the venom slowly take. That sounds so evil when I say it out loud. But like during the pandemic, I kind of went down that rabbit hole of watching those videos. And also like crime stories of like missing persons that haven't been
Yes,
seen
yes.
since like the 70s. It scares the crap out of me because just thoughts of like something like that could possibly happen to me. But like just going down this rabbit hole of like people that have gone missing since the 70s and then they find their bodies like here in the 20s. It's so weird, but satisfying at the same time.
Oh, I did that all through the pandemic too. I was watching like old school unsolved mysteries, and then I would go through a rabbit hole of trying to solve all the cases.
I couldn't solve any of those cases, but it got to the point where I was literally like, I would take a shower and like, I would hear a sound. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's someone in the house. Like that scared of like stories of people being kidnapped, or I really had to like stop, and I started like watching SpongeBob to like get my mind off of the darkness of the world.
I did the same thing, and when I was a woman living alone, it's like even 10 times worse. I'm just like,
Yes.
yeah, but I did Real Housewives instead of SpongeBob to calm down.
The Real Housewives. I used to watch because my mother and my sisters they still watch it. I don't really watch it now. It's like I think those women like I don't understand why they fight so much. If I had their money, it's like I would be in love with the world. But
Right?
yeah,
Exactly.
it's like the problems that they have, at least not problems to me. If I was making, $1 million an episode, I would want to give everybody a hug. I just would feel like there would be no anger in my heart. But
Exactly.
to each their own.
Yeah. And where can we find you on social media?
I am Frankie. I think it's 3 underscores Smith. But I would just tell people like you can Google me and just put in Frankie Smith actor, and like the Instagram icon should come up.
Great. Well, I'll send you a follow, and thank you so much. I appreciate you, and good luck. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Sam. It's so nice meeting you and talking with you.
Likewise. We'll talk again soon.
We sure will.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.